This is my 100% playthrough of A King's Tale Final Fantasy 15. And, yeah. See, got everything here, all done. Yeah, I did this a while ago, a couple years ago. Yeah, these are the dream battles. I got 100%. I got the I don't know if this one had a platinum trophy, but I didn't do it. Yeah, this is all A plus, except this one right here. This one took me. And this one I got a B, but the star means completion, so I got completion on all of them. Yeah, there's a B over here, and there's a B over here on the top right and bottom left. I mean, in top right, bottom right. And then story mode options. Wait, hold on. This is okay. So yeah, this is a story. Okay, so this takes place 30 years before Final Fantasy 15. This is when Noctis, which is that little boy, is that age. Yeah, it's been a while since I got back on this game. So yeah, the weapons and the physical attacks. And you got these things here that build MP. And I have other attacks here. Right. Yeah, the thing is with these characters in Final Fantasy 15 is that they use a ball to create the magic, and then they throw the magic from the ball. In other games that I've played and I've shown, the characters don't have a ball to make the magic show in, like they don't energize the ball for magic and then throw the magic from the ball in the other in the other Final Fantasy games. In the other ones it was they just stick out the hand and the fire comes out of the hand. The ball thing I didn't understand. They just didn't. Yeah, I guess they got tired of the whole idea of being able to throw magic out of the hand without using any ball. Yeah, the changes. That's another thing with Final Fantasy. The changes made people complain. The fans of the game complain. When I went onto social media, like I was on Twitter, the page was filled with complaints of people saying, "What was the whole point of the ball?" And some people said that the magic wasn't even used throughout the story mode, so it was pointless to even use magic. And there was just so much back and forth, controversy, complaints. Even I even heard the actors weren't, the voice actors of the game were not satisfied, and they were yelled at, and there was so much drama. I don't even know what happened those days, but it was really sad, disheartening, and it was really yeah, like that ball thing, like that doesn't convince me either. I don't like the idea really. Like I mean, I'm fine to use it, but it's definitely something different. Yeah, Final Fantasy 4. I mean, I don't blame the devs if they didn't have time to play Final Fantasy 4, but Final Fantasy 4 did explain how the fire came out of the character's hand. And they went into detail with it, and it was really nicely explained. And this is, by the way, this character I'm playing as, that's the father of Noctis. The father of the little boy that you saw on the top of the screen. This is his father. He fought in the war in this time frame when little boy was his, like when he was with his father fought in the war, and he said, "Son, I'll protect you, and this is going to be a huge battle, and I have to take care of it." So his father goes and fights off in the battle, which I'm doing right now, and little boy is at home being protected by a bunch of soldiers and his family, and it's all about royalty. Yeah. I read the story of this. This is something that contains a story. Video games some games have contained story. The explanation is hard. Yeah, but I want to know what the story was and what the contents were between the father, the child, and all that stuff. No, 30 years before, the child was an adult and was a prince and had to be the one in charge of the whole country, because his father passed away, and he was prince while his father was the king, and then he had to go through a whole series of events by traveling, fighting a war, going to dinner, seeing his wife, going to a speech, going to a mall, picking out a dress for his wife, let's see, taking a boat to go to another country to then save the lives of birds, and a whole bunch of stuff, just so he can get that title of king, and then having everyone know who he is, and continue, you know, like, yeah, like being the mayor of the whole city, or the president of the whole United States. That's what the prince had to do. And when he grew up, he couldn't play video games anymore, and that was something a part of the story, that he had hobbies, he wanted to keep going, but then he turned 30 years old, and his father said, "Look, time is going by fast. You're about to die at some point, and you're not gonna live forever, and you gotta take responsibility." So then the man grew up to be an adult, and like, he left the house, he went into a hotel, he slept with his friends, but he didn't have any, not stuff with his friends the dirty way, but you know what I mean. Like, he had to move out, he had to live with his friends, you know. So don't take this the wrong way, but like he had to like really grow up, man up. Like he had to stop with the video games. He had to go take out the trash. He had to learn how to be an adult, and he didn't have any time. Like one day when he was playing video games, time was ticking, and he went out and he had to start doing the stuff that he was responsible for, and he didn't like doing it. And his father said, look, I know, I went through the same thing, and we all have to go through it. His father didn't play video games probably because but I'm sure he probably had hobbies, I don't know. But when the boy turned 30, he started going everywhere and hanging out, and like he went to bars. Like he didn't want to drink liquor, and they made him drink liquor, and like it was awful. Him and 3 other friends, and one of his friends was his guardian. His guardian says, look, if you don't start acting like a man and start doing things, you know, like if you don't start going to your wife and start like being more responsible adult, then I'm not gonna talk to you for a while. And he didn't abandon him because that was his guardian, and he had no choice. By law, by the royalties law, he had to stay and protect him. And they had a couple of arguments, but then after a while he finally manned up. And it was a shame. Like it was harsh. Yeah, and he manned up because he had to. His guardian told him to, and he didn't want to. He wanted to keep going with his video games. Yeah, and there were a few times where his guardian says to him, "Okay, you did your work, and you can go ahead and play, but just for an hour." Like he gave him a curfew, and gave him a time limit. He said, "You can play, but just for an hour." And he says, all right, thanks. And then he goes with his best friend and his butler, his servant, and they go and they play cards on his cell phone. And I forgot what the card game is. They even had the name, and they had it on the cell phone on a real mobile app. You were able to download the game. I forgot what it was called. It was something with a king's cards or something like that. I forgot what it was called, the card game. Yeah, there were also other card games too. In Final Fantasy 9, there's a Tetra Master, and in Final Fantasy 8, there's I forgot the name of the card. It was Tetra Master, and there was another card game in Final Fantasy 8. Yeah, the whole card game thing started in Final Fantasy 8. Then it was in 9, and then there was in 10. There was another game that it wasn't a card game, but it was a little mini game that you can participate in. You press the square button on one of the NPCs after they give you introductions to it, like during one of the chapters, and you can play Sphere Break. That you had to do math, but it was basic math. This was multiplying. You had to get a number of a multiplier, and if you get it right, you win to the next round. And there's like 15. No, there was how many, like 15 rounds or something, and you get points every round when you win the match, and it's just guessing a multiplier number, but you have to combine the numbers to get the multiplier number. When you get it right, you move on to the next level. And then let's see, Final Fantasy 12 didn't have that, but it had stickers for every monster you took down, and they give you like 64 boards of monsters. And Final Fantasy 13, they had hunts too, but you had to do a lot of traveling. Final Fantasy 14, they have achievements, because online games always have achievements. That, you know, you press a button, it has a book, and then you read the book, click on the book, and then it tells you, oh, go over here to this location and defeat this monster, and then you get an achievement, and then they give you like 4 potions or something. And then let's see, Final Fantasy 15, Yeah, 15 is the card game. They have the Chocobo Racing as well too. Final Fantasy 7 started the Chocobo Racing, I think. And then in Final Fantasy 2, there was a Chocobo that had a bank. The Chocobo is the yellow bird, the iconic bird. Yeah, there was Chocobo Racing in Final Fantasy 7, and in Final Fantasy 15 you were actually able to control the Chocobo, whereas the one in 7 you just put money on a menu and then you see the birds running, and if the bird that you put money on wins, you get money from all the other people that didn't get their bird to win, plus your money back for you winning. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 10-2 also had many games too. Yeah, you had to collect. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a gun game, I remember. Like you had to shoot a bunch of monsters within a time limit, and you had to score a lot of points. So then you can get to the next round, and then you had to walk an area. You had to make the character walk in an area, and you had to shoot every monster that pops up on the screen. And then when you shoot each monster, you get points for each one you take down, and then when you make it to a certain number of points, they put you to the next stage, and there were 10 stages. There was quite a lot of mini games in Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. Mostly 10-2 though. Yeah, there's in Final Fantasy 10 and in 10-2, there's Blitzball, which is underwater soccer. The characters dive underwater with a ball, and then you have to catch the ball, and if someone takes the ball, you have to push them back, and then you have to pass the ball to another player, and then when you get that ball, you use a special move to kick the ball into the goal. And there was another one in Final Fantasy 10, what was it, 10-2? That you had to do a campaign. No, it was in the first Final Fantasy 10. That's right. In Final Fantasy 10, there was a campaign. If you get 400 points or something, you can get these rides that you can access with the character, and the character would sit on the ride, and you see the ride just moving around the character on it. I don't remember much of. Let's see. Final Fantasy 12. Yeah, it had monsters that you would collect these little stickers, and they would give you money for it and potions. And with that money, you buy skills and all of the talents and everything. Oh, and Final Fantasy 12 had other tasks too. Like you were able to get some rewards for talking to characters. Constantly talking, and there was a lot of monsters to take down and a lot of floors to get up into. There were different places. There were lots of places in 12 to get around. 12 didn't have mini games as much though. Actually, yeah, no, there were no mini games in 12. 14, I don't know too much about. I played as a character. I customized it, and then after that, I was in a ship, and then they took me out of the ship, and then I started wandering around. When I got out of the ship and they put me at the pier, there was like a castle, this like a big building. I went in there and I saw a bunch of other characters, and then I walked out, and then I started fighting monsters, and then I went back to near the boat, and then I logged off. I didn't travel much because there wasn't. It was a lot, and like they were giving me a lot of explanations. I was only able to reach level 20 in Final Fantasy 14, and then Final Fantasy 11 I never played. I don't know much about it, but I saw it on Xbox. Like I saw in the case. I went to the retail store on GameStop, and I saw the case. And Final Fantasy 14, I think they have Chocobo Racing. I know they have monsters there based off of every Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 14 is awesome. The only thing is it's a bunch of clicking and it's online. Which I don't mind, but I have to get used to that. I mean, not used to it, but it's just I never play. I played Terra on PS4, and because my cousin said, "Oh, get Terra," and I was gonna get on PC, but then I ended up getting on PS4 instead, and I couldn't join him. My cousin Mikey. Yeah, that cousin of mine that always went to his house too. Final Fantasy 14, I didn't get to experience much, but I did have fun. I did like the scenes. There were those rabbits, Viera, from Final Fantasy 12 and 14. There were a lot of yeah, the Bagna I don't think was in 14, but I know the Chocobos were in 14. And Chocobos are in every Final Fantasy game starting from 2. And even the spin-offs like Theater, them Curtain Call, and Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics has the old-fashioned Moogles. And then 13 has a different style, while 12... The Final Fantasy Tactics Moogles, Tactics took place before Final Fantasy 12. And its myth. But, Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy Tactics, they have the old-fashioned Moogles, whereas the other ones are far different. Yeah, the Mystery Dungeon, the Chocobo game I was playing, that one has a Moogle. Yeah, that one is what was it, Captain X or something? I took it down. That one was hard. That one throws a laser and it can take the Chocobo down in one hit. It was a very powerful Moogle. A Moogle X or something. I don't know if I should show Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, other streamers have put. Yeah, I was thinking that today. I was thinking about putting Final Fantasy again. Not this one. I was thinking about like putting Final Fantasy 9, 7, and 8 on stream, but other streamers have already done that. Alright. No, I'm not worried about relationships. I'll play the Power Rangers. Alright, I'm gonna play the Power Rangers. I'll get onto Power Rangers. Let me take these. Alright. Alright. I'm getting on Power Rangers. I'll be back.